Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. Buckle up, as it's a long one, and don't forget to listen to the end of the story to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories, guys, and please like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. I don't know where to start. About 25 years ago, I, 50 female, had an affair with my husband, 55 male. He was married to Mary when we started this affair. She was 28 then. I got pregnant due to the affair. I told my husband and he and his wife got a divorce. It was painful for everyone. We both got married when our daughter, Anna, was 2. We went to couples counseling to solve our issues. We were both guilty of what we have done. I know what we did was wrong. We have suffered a lot emotionally and mentally, but we worked hard to make our marriage work. Our daughter, Anna, got married when she was 23. After 10 months into their marriage, she came crying to me saying she caught her husband in bed with someone else. My daughter was really devastated. She didn't eat or sleep properly. I once found that she had pills with her to end herself. She was able to get a divorce. She moved in with us. We helped her with everything: therapy, a place to live, find her a job. She's now doing fine. But she is still jilted by her husband's affair because she was with him since she was 16. During those times my daughter was suffering, my mind went on flashback. I was once the homewrecker. I had an affair with a married man. Maybe Mary had to go through the same pain like my daughter did, if not more, because my husband was married to her for quite some time. That guilt started to surface. Every time I look at my daughter, I see Mary and couldn't help but wonder that I'm the bad guy. I tried everything. I went to therapy myself and tried to console myself that it is okay. It was 25 years ago. Surely my husband noticed that something was really off about me. He asked what was wrong. I told him that I wrecked his first marriage. I got pregnant with Anna, and that is why you left your first wife. I cannot carry this guilt in me forever. My husband and I talked about it for a while. Unfortunately, Anna was eavesdropping, because after a few days she came to me and asked if she was an affair child. She told me she heard his dad and me talking about her dad's affair, and how she was the result of our affair. I had to come clean. She kept screaming at me with vile words like I'm a homewrecker. She hates that she is a product of cheat and lie. She even charged at her dad and called him a disgusting cheater. She left the house and cut off contact. She went to her aunt's house, my husband's sister. Sister-in-law and Mary were close. That's why she never liked me. She only tolerated my existence for my daughter. We went to sister-in-law's house. Our daughter was still not talking to us. Sister-in-law told my daughter everything. My husband argued. Sister-in-law told us that she did promise that she will not intentionally tell Anna everything, but if she ever asks, she will not lie to her. She kept her promise and didn't lie, because my daughter asked for more details. My daughter doesn't want to talk to us. I learned from sister-in-law that Anna managed to track down Mary, and she found out she is living in the same town as us. Mary remarried someone else and had kids. I don't understand why my daughter wants to meet that woman. I told her it was a bad idea, and she only said, "A homewrecker like you wouldn't understand what I'm going through." I'm still in distress. My husband is also very upset. I don't know what to do. I am guilty of what I did, but I do not wish that upon anyone. I want to fix things between me and my daughter. Please help a mother out. Edit. After the divorce, Mary cut off contact with everyone that was mutual to my husband and her. She even cut off sister-in-law. To be honest, at that time I was dealing with a lot. I was only focused on my unborn child rather than my husband. I didn't get closure. I thought about writing her a letter, but it felt like it would be rubbing it in her face. Also, I had no intention to tell my daughter about our past. It's in the past. It shouldn't affect her. We were having this conversation at 2 a.m. I know Anna would be asleep by then. She told me that on that day she was coming to our room to ask for some meds for her headache. That's when she heard us talking. Yes, I am in therapy. My husband divorced Mary right after I told him that I was pregnant. He was a good husband and a good father to her. How is his past relevant to her life? He never taught our daughter to cheat. He gave her a pep talk right before her wedding that loyalty is a huge part in a marriage. I know he failed to keep it in his first marriage, but he has changed a lot. No, they did not have kids. I did not know that he was married when I started seeing him. When I learned that he was married, I wanted to end it, but he refused because he told me that he loved me and that he wasn't attracted to Mary anymore. Shortly after I got pregnant, I knew I was wrong for not ending it right away. But we loved each other. He was having issues with his marriage and told me multiple times that he will get a divorce. I think her reaction is understandable. She realized her parents aren't who she thought they were at the time when she's deeply hurting, and she wants to speak to Mary because maybe she'll understand the pain she's experiencing and be able to help in a way that OP and her husband can't. I think all OP and her husband need to do is give their daughter space and time. She'll either decide to come back into their lives or burn the bridge between them. Ultimately, that's her choice. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Suspicious Weekend 284 says, "Why do you say it was painful for everyone? It wasn't painful for you and your husband. You both were romping, and she's not the product of your love. She's a product of your lust. You felt nothing for Mary, and your daughter is right. You won't understand. Did your husband have kids with Mary? Did you get pregnant deliberately? What goes around comes around. Karma does come back to bite." Mama Fen says, "When you build your mansion on top of a manure pile, it doesn't matter how long you've lived in it. Some of the rooms are still going to smell bad. You have had 25 years to come to grips with this. Your daughter hasn't. Give her the time and space she needs to start wrapping her head around the atomic bomb you just dropped on her life. She has to reevaluate not only her relationship with you and her father, but with herself. If she chooses to cut ties with you now that she knows the truth, that is her choice to make. Doesn't matter if you want her to or not." Deleted says, "This is on you. I mean, why did you have the affair? You really thought you'd be spared from the clutches of karma? I mean, who wants to be known as an affair child anyways? She has every right to feel what she feels. Imagine this. Her own house was wrecked because of her husband and a homewrecker. Now she got to know that her mom was a homewrecker as well. Her mom is the thing that she hates the most. So the decision is up to her." Update. I want to thank people who actually gave me some useful advice instead of just bashing me. I have come here again to ask for more because my life is falling apart and I cannot do anything to stop it. Firstly, I took your advice. We will give her her space and stop bothering her until she is ready to talk to us again. We didn't talk to her until yesterday when she asked to speak with us. When I made my first post, she stopped talking to us a week before that. Within this time, she went to visit Mary. After a week, yesterday, Anna messaged us and said she wants to talk and that we should come to sister-in-law's house. For the first time in a week, Anna hugged us. I was in tears. I told her we were sorry for everything we did. She also said sorry for calling us harsh names, that she was in a bad place and didn't know how to handle it until she met Mary. My heart sank. I was hoping that Mary must have badmouthed about us. Instead, according to my daughter, she was one of the kindest women she met. When Mary learned about us and Anna's marriage, she actually hugged her and said it is not her fault. She is a wonderful woman and she deserves better. Her husband lacks good character and has flaws in him. That's why he cheated. She has her whole life ahead and she shouldn't waste it by crying after a guy who broke her heart. They talked about Mary's life. After her divorce, she cut off ties with everyone she knew through my husband and moved to her hometown with her parents. She suffered severe depression after the divorce. 2 years later, she met her now husband and they fell in love. They got married and moved to this town. According to my daughter, he is a good man who treats Mary like a queen. They have 2 girls and a boy. I was happy to hear that Mary was doing great. She even gave my daughter a jar of her homemade special cookies. My daughter told me that we should be thanking Mary that she hasn't gone no contact with us. Mary told her that she holds no grudge against us and that she has forgiven us a long time ago. She encouraged my daughter to not cut us off because even though we made mistakes, we did well raising her. We are humans, not angels. That Anna shouldn't punish us or feel bad about the affair. In a way, that led Mary to a much happier life. Anna is not a result of a lie or a cheat, but a blessing to the world, and she should be thankful for having such supportive parents. I was in tears, I won't lie. I've always been jealous of Mary because she seems really kind. I could never be her because I'm an awful person. I will always have guilt in my heart that I hurt such a kind woman. Then, my daughter dropped the bomb. She told us that she still needs some time apart from us, because even if Mary's insight has made her hate us less, whenever she looks at us, she only sees people who have hurt someone in the worst possible way. She needs time to cope with it. We were devastated to say the least, but we accepted her offer. She wants space and told us the reason she talked to us is to see if she could forgive us. But she feels like she can't at the moment. She needs time to figure out some things and wants to continue talking to Mary because she gave her some good advice on how to cope with infidelity. I told her if that is what she wants, we will give it to her and that we love her no matter what. I'm in a dilemma. I don't know. I just want my daughter back. The last few days have been really stressful. I'm not mad she wants to talk to Mary. I'm just heartbroken that she doesn't want to share anything with me. She used to share even the little things, and now I have just become a stranger to her. Edit. I know that Mary made a similar post. I don't know if this is truly her or someone else with a different story. And Mary, if you're reading this, I am really sorry. I know I am 25 years too late, but now I realize how much pain my husband and I have caused you. It wasn't until my own daughter suffered the same I realized that you must have went through a similar pain. I hope you will forgive, and thanks for taking care of my daughter. You're a good person with a good heart. There was another post from Mary's perspective, but I doubt this is her or if it's real. My ex-husband's affair baby wanted to meet me after 25 years. It's been years since I've talked to my husband or anyone linked to him. Me, 53 female, and my husband, 55 male, met in college. We dated for a while and got married. We built our life and decided we were ready for a baby. I was 26 and he was 28. We tried for around 1.5 years before getting checked out. He had fertility problems, although I was quite fertile. Due to this intense desire for a child, he became very depressed. I was willing to do everything for him. I never applied too much pressure. I assured him that no matter what, I still adore him. Up until he told me one day that he got another woman pregnant. He has been cheating on me since we started trying again. I knew her because she worked in a bakery where my husband often goes. Now I know why. My heart was shattered. We argued, and he told me he wants to be with her because it only seems logical to stay with the mother of his child. I was really angry at both of them. He made another woman pregnant while his wife, who was also struggling with conception, was just praying that she gets a baby. I really hated seeing them together. That woman, let's call her B, would sometimes come to our divorce hearings and stay outside. It just hurt to see my husband being loving and caring towards another woman and rubbing her pregnant belly. After the divorce, I moved out of town and went to live with my parents. I was in deep depression and couldn't concentrate on anything. My father owned a small restaurant in my hometown, and that's when I met my now husband, Bill, 53 male. We used to go to high school together. We chatted a bit, and then he asked me out on a date. We dated until I got pregnant with my son, and that's when we decided to tie the knot. Besides our son, we also have twin daughters. We moved back into the same town after our marriage because Bill got a really good job offer there. I thought living in the same town would haunt me, but everything has been fine. I actually bumped into my ex 15 years ago while I was on a picnic with my family. He apologized. I forgave him because there's no point in holding a grudge. We went our separate ways and never contacted. A few days ago, I got a message from a girl asking me if I knew my ex-husband. I was shocked. She was his and B's daughter. Let's call her A. A told me that she knew that her dad had had an affair with her mom and that she wants to meet me and apologize. I was kinda hesitant. I wasn't sure if I want to meet her. But my husband told me to just talk to her once. Maybe I will get an actual closure. I invited her to my house. She looks just like her mother, except for her nose. She sat down and cried that she was cheated on by her husband. She sat down and cried that she was cheated on by her husband. She was not in a good place after that, and recently she found out that she was conceived because my husband had an affair with her mother. She was saying sorry and begging me to forgive her. Before meeting her, a bad part of me wanted to ridicule her. But now, I just see myself in her. I was her 25 years ago. She said she doesn't know why she met me, but she knows I was the only one who can understand. I really felt bad for her. I just hugged that poor girl who was bawling her eyes out. I cried too. I told her that she is an amazing woman. It is not her fault that she was cheated on. It was her husband's. We sat and talked for a while. She told me how she was angry when she got to know that her mom and dad hurt me. Now she sees her mom as a homewrecker and her dad as a cheater, the very things that caused her to lose her marriage. Honestly, I know most people would say I should feel proud, but I do not. She is obviously struggling with something. It must be hard for her to know how she was conceived. I don't want her to punish her parents. Moreover, I don't want her to punish herself. What they did was wrong, but they surely loved her with all they got. They gave her a good life. I couldn't bring myself to hate her. I asked her to stay for dinner. My kids were good to her. So was my husband. I packed her some leftovers and some of my homemade cookies. She asked me if she could keep in contact. I said sure. Me and my husband are moving out soon. Our son is in college, and our daughters will be off to college this year. We're planning to sell our place and move back to our hometown. So until then, we can meet, but I wanted to establish boundaries. It is just unbelievable. 25 years ago, I was cursing her for destroying my house, but now I feel nothing. She is a good girl who has a good heart. I don't know many people who would want to correct the mistake of their parents. She did. I'm willing to help her. I don't know if it is good or bad, or is it some scheme she is playing, but we will see.